Councilman Munger,
Present.
Councilman Genzel,
Absent.
Supervisor Ballo,
Absent.
Councilman Boardway,
Present.
Councilman Keating.
Present.
Councilman Keating, Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And there's one issue under preliminary matters. At this point, we will be scheduling a special town board meeting on Wednesday, May 9th, 2017 at 8 a.m. To discuss town legal matters. Can I make that motion?
Second. I believe that we said Tuesday.
I'm sorry, Tuesday, May 9th.
Tuesday, May 9th. Sorry.
That's as corrected, please.
Thank you.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Councilman, would the town clerk send out the appropriate notices for that?
I make that request, yes, please.
You'll need to give me the appropriate information.
And I don't expect that to be a problem. Perfect. At this point, the regular business in the meeting tonight, correction and adoption of the minutes. These are the minutes from our April 5th, 2017 meeting. Had the opportunity to review those minutes. At this point, they require no additions, changes, or deletions. I move they be adopted.
Second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Oh, excuse me, Councilman Orway. I think we had one additional preliminary matter for the schedule of public hearing for the franchise agreement.
All that's correct. I apologize. I looked at a different place. At this point in time, the town board, through deliberations, has offered or are in the process of leasing the property across the street for farming. And at this point, we've decided to schedule a public hearing for the purposes of issuing the franchise agreement. I'd like to schedule that public hearing for June 7th, 2017 at 7:30 p.m.
Second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
And again, Mr. Town Attorney, if you could provide the clerk, please, with all the public notice requirements she needs to publish that in a timely fashion. Regular business, again, item number 2, consideration of all fund bills, Councilman.
Yes, thank you. So I had an opportunity to review all of the bills for the current abstract. There's only one abstract this month. The total amount on the abstract is $136,899.11. I make a motion to approve those bills.
Second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Item number 3 on our agenda this evening, correspondence. Only one correspondence has been received. Lake Erie Watershed Protection Alliance correspondence that will be received and filed. Moving on to new business. Item number 1, Boston Emergency Squad appointment, Councilman Tagg.
Yes, thank you. At the Boston Emergency Squad's last meeting, dated April 12, 2017, excuse me, they made a motion to approve Christy Gallagher to the emergency squad. I make a motion to approve Christy.
Second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Item number 2 is an application for use of facilities from the Hamburg Junior Baseball and Softball League. It's an application to use our town fields for baseball from 2017 through September 1st, 2017. Weeknights from 5:15 to sunset, roughly weekends 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. For youth baseball and softball games and practices. They are requesting storage, access to the storage building. And at this point, make a motion to approve that request. The insurance certificate has been paid They will require parking, that's not a problem.
Second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Bordway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating,
Yes.
carried.
There'll be conditional on all the coaches for the various leagues that we've offered, coaches or managers that we've offered use of these facilities to coordinate with each other to make sure there's no issues with respect to scheduling, double booking, and things like that. Number 3, additional accessory building for 82 to 42 Cole Road, Randy and Lori Crawford. Councilman Munger?
Yes, thank you, Acting Supervisor. I have a letter here from our Code Enforcement Officer, William Ferguson, stating this department does not object to granting Mr. Crawford additional accessory building. The additional accessory building and location meet the requirements of the Boston zoning code. I would like to make a motion to approve that.
And I'd second that.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Bordway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
And also, Councilman Munger, if you could please come forward application for use of facility for Ralph Galuzzi for birthday party.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Acting Supervisor. We have an application for use of facility by Ralph Galuzzi for June the 3rd for the event of a birthday party. They were requesting the Lions Shelter, bathroom facilities, and playground. They are going to be serving alcohol. It is a private party. It is not a public special event. We have received their check on 4/28/17. I would like to make a motion that we approve this application for use of facility.
I'll second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Bordway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
And item number 5, for new business, schedule the mobile home park inspections. Councilman.
Yes, thank you. I would like to make a motion to schedule the mobile home park inspection for Friday, June 2nd at 2017 at 5:30 p.m.
And I second that.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Bordway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
There's no old business appearing on our agenda this evening. I move on to reports and presentations at this time. Councilman Munger.
Nothing at this time. I'm being summoned as the liaison to the Historical Society. Kathy, what would you like me to let everybody know?
We got the Kids Safety Day coming up this Saturday from 10 to 2 in the community room in the parking lot. So we have the parking lot for the kids' seats, and then child ID and everything in the community room. Mother's Day, the museum opens for the season from 2 to 4. And then on May 19th, we have Civil War Day down at the fairgrounds. School hours are for 5 schools. And then from 4:30 to 7:30, it's open to the public.
I would like to put that in as my councilman's report for today. Thank you, Mr. Acting Supervisor.
Perfectly acceptable. Councilman Keating.
Yes, thank you. For my report, for just a quick reminder, I don't know if it was out by the time everybody arrived tonight. I know actually we're supposed to put out the fishing derby sign, but the fishing derby is next weekend, which is our annual fishing derby. It's always been a great success. We've got a lot of community involvement, a lot of help. The Conservation Advisory Council puts it on, but again, it's next Saturday. Registration starts at 9:30, officially kicks off at 10, and goes from about 10 to noon, give or take, and then we usually do like a late lunch with hot dogs for all of the participants. And then the only other event that I have to make everybody aware of is on Saturday, June 3rd. There's a household hazardous waste drop-off day with Erie County Community College South Campus in Orchard Park. You can drop off pesticides, fertilizers, pool and household chemicals, oil-based paints, oil, gasoline, kerosene, paint thinner, stripper and solvents, batteries, mercury, mercury would be like your thermometers, thermostats, or other device components that hold mercury. And you can also bring propane tanks and propane cylinders, whether they're full or empty. You cannot bring latex paint, tires, light bulbs, computers, any pharmaceuticals, and commercial or industrial waste. And I'm going to ask the town clerk to post this up on her board. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. And One other reminder is that if you haven't seen at the end of the 219 exit, Patchen is having their meat raffle this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. It is free admission and free refreshments. So that is all I have for tonight. Thank you.
And thank you, Councilman. On behalf of the Highway Superintendent at this point in time, he's brought some things to the board's attention. As we've discussed at prior meetings, we did have some equipment that the superintendent was in charge of that is no longer useful to the town. We wanted to get the best price for those. At his suggestion, those items were put up on an auction site, much like eBay kind of thing for big equipment. The highway superintendent has informed the board that the trailer that was for sale on that site has a high bid in the amount of $3,050, $3,050. He has asked the board to allow him to accept that price and to sell that trailer to the highest bidder on that site. This time I make a motion that the surplus trailer for the highway department be allowed to be sold for $3,050 per the highway superintendent's recommendation.
I'll second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Bordway,
Yes.
and Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Also, the Parks Department had their surplus truck. This was the Chevy pickup that they had back there. Was on the site also for sale to the highest bidder. That truck, which we have some insight as to what its value may or may not have been, actually sold they're a high bid on there right now for $2,650. Again, on the highway superintendent's recommendation, he's asked us to allow him to sell that and accept that high bid for that. So I also make the motion that the Chevy Parks truck be allowed to be sold to the highest bidder for $2,650.
Second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Bordway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Third item from the highway department, they used a trailer, that's Parks Department, it's also the Parks Department. They needed a new trailer, instead of the mowers, they were where the Parks Department handles all the various parks that the town maintains, north and south of town, across the street, the state police clearance, et cetera. They were desperately needing a new trailer for that. They did bid that out. There were 3 bids. It's a 10,000-pound gross weight open trailer. The closed trailers were a little too cumbersome, trying to get the tractors in with the safety roll cages and everything on them now that we have to have. There were 3 bids received for that trailer, one at $3,900, one at $3,494, and the low bid being $3,345 by Agriculture Belt Service. That is low bid. Highway superintendent and park superintendent has advised us those are apples to apples bids, right, real similar products. He does recommend we accept the lowest bid on that. So at this point, I make a motion to authorize the highway superintendent and park superintendent to purchase the low bid trailer for $3,345 to Agricultural Belt Service.
I'll second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Bordway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Thank you. And Mr. Highway Superintendent, if you could, the rest of your report, I will let you do, because I did write all those things down.
I got a call a couple days ago from Erie County Highway. The Mill Street Bridge will be closing for a short time, between 2 weeks and 8 weeks, starting on May 16th. So Mill Street Bridge will be closed on May 16th. Other than that, brush pickup's still going on. Get your brush out as soon as possible. Guys are out picking up brush. Highway Department has wood chips available, we have fill available, and we got some pine chunks of firewood. If somebody wants some bomb firewood, there's some firewood down at the front of the Highway Department. That's all I have tonight.
Excellent, thank you, Mr. Knight. Moving on, I have the town attorney's report also. Dated May 3rd, 2017, Attorney Covio is as always hard at work for the taxpayers in the town of Boston. Is coordinated with Edward Markrian from McGavin and McGavin and Grimm, LLP, in preparation for the town's brief to be filed to the Fourth Department. That brief consists of the state's decision to put up the group home on Colwood down Valius Road. That brief, actually, I had the opportunity to review that a few days ago. That actually is very, very well written. It's a kind of a no, take the gloves off kind of brief. We're not being nice to the state agency there. We're telling them point blank why we don't think that group home is appropriate in our town, particularly in that part of our town, and all the reasons why. That'll now get shipped off to Rochester, and people who are apparently a lot smarter than us and know our town way better than we do are going to make a decision. He also met with the town engineer and the council regarding the secret requirements for the proposed rezoning of the land for the project down Route 219 and 391, discussed the proposed resolution for the town board to assume the role of lead agency, review the request for John Zittle of Zittle Farms to cultivate and farm the vacant lot across the street next to the state police barracks for this year's growing season. He drafted the proposed resolution for that and attended the town's Chapter 47 hearing on April 25th, 2017 for other litigation, coordinated procedures, and protocol for that particular hearing. We'll be talking more about that one at a future date. Again, the town attorney does a fantastic job. This supervisor apologizes for not being able to be here tonight. And beyond that, my own self, we have, essentially, we did have the opportunity to meet with the attorney downstairs, along with Mr. Hannon, who's our town engineer. Jim Hannon is knee-deep in pretty much any project that goes on in town. But if you were at the last meeting, you recall we did in fact make a motion to hire some outside counsel for the project at 219 and 391 down there. This gentleman is just going to be making sure all the i's are dotted and the t's are crossed for that project. We had the opportunity to meet him. He went through some processes downstairs with us this evening. Some of the things he's going to do to ensure this project gets approved smoothly with as least interruption as possible and as quickly as possible. From reading him, I certainly feel quite confident that he's able to do that. In brief discussions, the board did essentially agree that this is the right gentleman for that job. He's going to forward us a retainer contract for a longer-term agreement on getting this project approved. Other than that, I have nothing else right now. We'll be opening the floor briefly. I can make that motion with the understanding that if you to come up to the microphone, give us your name and address, and make a motion open the floor.
Second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Hi, Keith Kashubek, 5550 Maple Grove Drive. On April 20th, we all experienced an inordinate amount of rainfall and, for some of us, subsequent flooding and damage. Although I always clean out the waterways around my own property, as any responsible citizen should do, it's important that everyone in town it's unfortunate that everyone in town isn't as conscientious. Due to yard refuse having been dumped in a ditch on my street, several drains on town property became blocked and consequently my front yard was flooded with water. A hollow in my backyard became a torrent. Keeping in mind that the small group of men in the highway department had their hands full with work all over town, above and beyond their usual responsibilities, I contacted Highway Superintendent Telek the next morning and asked for help. Later that same day, our highway department workers were on the scene with their equipment. They knew exactly what to do and didn't waste any time making everything perfect again. I want to personally thank these men for their outstanding work ethic and steadfast service to our town.
Thank you.
Emily Muley, 7305 Umphalius Road. I would just like to personally say how wonderful it is that the squad is gaining yet another EMT. And I would also like to remind the town board members who denied my appointment to the Boston Emergency Squad that I am more than qualified, and that I was appointed as an EMT by the same members for the Boston Recreation Department 2 years ago and also received a pay raise because of this. I would also like to say that denying me to volunteer for this town seems like an injustice, and I would like to thank you for your time.
William Fornes, 9534 West Hill Road, Town of Boston, 28-year employee of the town. I'd like to question one part is the drainage on Lieber Road, where the water is running across behind the state police barracks into our fields, that you're discussing about putting up to bid, so forth, for whoever would like to. Why that's not been addressed for the last 2 months, that drain has been plugged. Procurement policies. Our drainage issues are terrible. We spend a lot of money, I think, doing foolish things, playing politics in this town, where the money could be used in a lot better places, and one is drainage. We also talk about the crossroads drainage, getting easements on Esther Following's property, Kester's property, and taking care of some drainage. I don't think any of this has been addressed or taken care of yet. I don't know why we're letting that water run through our field like this, and like it has been, and not taking some type of legal matter. We talk about prescriptive drainage up there on Lieber Road. Lieber Road flooded the last couple times in these main storms with Mr. Jerome and so forth that we might all be aware of. Same issues not being addressed. I think this town could spend our money a lot more wisely instead of playing politics and taking care of some legal issues and drainage issues that need to be done. Another question I'm not aware of, if it's been taken care of or not, as far as Rice Road properties on Rice Road between West Hill and Bat Creek Road. A gentleman is selling a number of lots off. I live next in relation to that property. I don't recall anything being done where that's been zoned, where he could break up and actually sell lots off or subdivide. I'm very curious. He's already sold 3 lots. If he remains one, he cannot sell anymore. He also has major drainage issues up there where he's blocked, not culverts, but drainage ravines in that our culverts drain into with stumps and so forth that have never been addressed or taken care of. I'd like that to look into too. So his name is Mr. Naraki, if you're familiar with that, but I don't recall any of that being subdivided up in that area. But I think we got to spend a lot more time in legal issues as far as getting easements and taking care of drainage so we don't fight the same battles years after years. Years ago, we spent a lot of time in the Emerald subdivision in Hickory Meadows. Mr. Genzel's not here, but I know we actually had surveying done. Mr. Emerald talked about getting easements and issuing property to the town so we could access this property to clean out gravel dams, so forth, that we put in head walls, and that was never taken care of. Now the lot's sold, there's a new house, there's a trailer, there's a driveway that we paid to put in, and we can't even access that. And it's making a lot more work for our employees and us, and we gotta stay on top of this. We gotta take more time and spend time taking care of serious issues and not some of the BS stuff that we're taking care of as far as drainage in this town. Thank you.
Which BS specifically are you talking about? Just out of curiosity. Are you talking about like frivolous lawsuits that keep getting filed against the town?
We seem to have,
Defend or
we seem to have time to hire lawyers and address issues and building issues and so forth, but simple easements, and yeah, we're being really silly in this time with some of our political BS that's going on. And we don't have lawyers that we can take care of and get an easement or get papers signed of stuff that Emerald agreed to do with, and we're dropping the ball on a number of issues. Even procurement policies. We wanted to buy a truck a few months ago, and God forbid, we couldn't get 3 councilmen and a lawyer together to do a special meeting that we could buy a truck, okay? But God forbid, if you want to do some BS stuff and play politics, you could get 3 members together and an attorney to do something and getting something solved. And we lost a very good quality truck that we could have purchased, but that couldn't be done because that takes weeks. But if you guys want to do something that seems in a number of days or a couple phone calls, it can be done. Thank you.
Very good.
Bill, before you walk away, do you have a second to stay after? Because I'd like to discuss some of those things with you.
We have plenty of time.
Thank you.
Don't break.
I don't want to break it. All right.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Lorinda Kosher, 7855 Highwood Drive, Director of Operations for the Boston Emergency Squad. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend last month's meeting when Ms. Muley was not voted for workman's compensation. She was voted in as a member of the Boston Emergency Squad on March 8th by our membership. And we've had 2 meetings scheduled with Mr. Balo that I have taken time off work to attend these meetings. Unfortunately, I'm an hourly employee, not a salary. So I lose time from work. One was April 27th, and the other one was this Monday, May 1st. I think what we need to look at is not personal problems, but what is the best for the future of the Boston Emergency Squad. We have about 7 or 8 young members in their 20s. They're the future for this town. Miss Muley is one of them. She has gone through all of her training, all of her orientation, and we need the young people. This spoke volumes to the students that were here for the high school government class, I think, that night, about what our town looks at for the future. And I just wanted to go on public record that I'm very displeased with the way the voting went that night. Thank you.
I see no one else that wishes to make comment at this point. I make a motion that the public comment section of the meeting be closed.
I'll second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Bordway,
Yes?
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
And also make a motion, the meeting be adjourned.
Second?
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Bordway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.